Greetings, fellow adventurers and storytellers, and welcome back to another episode of Fail with Hope. We are excited to bring you our continuing adventures and stories that happen with these hijinks that are going on by Jax, the freshly dubbed crew. Welcome back from our break that we had at the beginning of the month. Hopefully you all had a great time doing the things that you do. But I think we are ready to get going into the Tournament of Challengers, which is currently underway in a celebration, which you all have entered, have navigated the labyrinth, ascended the ruined tower of the God King, and after a brief intermission where you were allowed to refresh for what was to come, the challengers were let on to the final assault in order of their completion of the trials so far. Your rivals, the first Scions, were the first to complete this leg of the tournament, and so got a brief head start on you. Two. As you are attempting to finish this leg of the tournament before them. And as you emerged onto the roof of the tower, you could see that the storm that had been racking the tower locally had cleared up, and that the arena was jam-packed with people, the Jumbotron showing each of your emergences out onto the tower top. And the announcer calling out over the top, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, our artificers, alchemists, and magicians have been working tirelessly around the clock to bring you the next trial up for our challengers. I present to you the Battlebox! And you can see across from you on the tower this huge gleaming cube riding its skateboard. I'm not riding a skateboard. Covered with runes on the sides, charged with arcane energy that kind of tumbles out into place in front of all of you. Given the amount of fear that was stored up was why the first Scions have a slightly lead on all of you. But as you emerge out onto this rooftop, seeing what lies before you, hearing the crowd roaring all around at your entrance into this moment, you feel an overwhelming sense of pride and almost ego that you will win this trial, that you will be the champions of this year's festival. And you kind of swell with this confidence inside of you. Looking across, you can see the other towers kind of arrayed out in a pinwheel around where the labyrinths had led them to. You can see around in the other towers the first Scions already in battle with a cube of their own, the combat cube, as Nick called it. You can see other challengers emerging from their rooftops as well, but you know none of them has what you have. And the action is on you.
I will be right back.
Run away from the action! Oh boy. Wow. Okay, so there's just a cube and it's turned.
You can see these large circles on each face of the cube that are covered in like runes and sigils and crackling with arcane power and energy.
Can I recognize any of those runes immediately?
You definitely can recognize the enchantment effects, the arcane ability inscribed. Do you have a certain ability or experience that you are trying to use? I thought you had something as a wizard.
You gain priceless knowledge through great study. You have advantage on knowledge rolls to recall information. If this roll is about the magical nature of a creature or enchantment, gain hope even on a roll with fear. I could use that, but then that is a roll.
You can definitely see that each face of the cube looks like a different sort of enchantment. It definitely looks to be weaponized in some way, without any kind of an action.
I guess
Where did...
I would probably want to do that at some point. If we can learn something like about its weaknesses, then we'd be able to be more tactical.
Maybe each room does something different in
Or we
terms
have
of like
to
what you have to.
attack it, yeah, in a certain way. So I don't know if we want to do that first.
Yeah. Totes.
I guess I will roll that.
We want to try something ranged just to test the waters a bit.
I mean, if you want to try to attack it first, I just figured like that's probably the thing that I'm going to go after is try to learn more about it and then communicate that with you guys.
I'm looking to see what I have for range. I don't think I want to use the
Let's
grappling
learn
gun.
first before
Yeah.
we head to... Yes.
Okay.
I will try.
Hit first,
Don't
ask
touch.
questions later.
Don't touch.
I use my eyes. And I squint. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I know how to play this.
Making a knowledge roll?
Torch in the middle.
Yes. I'm just trying to learn how to do
Cube
math
on the
again.
end.
Brazier in the middle.
So that's a 23 with hope.
23 with hope
Is he
is
dead?
a success with hope, bringing your progress up to 3. And you don't. Nothing about its construction or the runes on it leads you to believe there's any particular weaknesses to be exploited. You definitely believe each side is a different sort of attack. So the attacks will be varied from this thing. And with the 23 you said, you recognize that it is an explosive construction. That this thing is bound so tightly with energy that whatever is holding it together is stopped, it will burst outwards.
Okay.
I relay
It
all
is like
things.
it is like overcharged,
That's a good idea.
She said
vibrating
she
and
squinted.
humming with this energy around it.
Okay.
Success with hope is still on all of you.
So, squinting at it is a good idea. So what do we do with that?
Make sure you stay
We have
away
no
from
idea
it.
what it can do yet, right?
Yeah.
What about those statues on the sides, though? They're
Did you
not
hear
doing
all of it?
anything.
Just
currently-
that it was explode if it took enough damage.
Oh, it doesn't have any particular weaknesses. It's just different varied attacks on each side.
Okay.
And then explosive.
What did you say this is in front of us again? A brazier?
A brazier.
A brazier. Okay. It's just bracing itself?
It's a large pit filled with fire,
Okay.
offering light and heat.
I thought you called it a brazier. Like, what is this? I'm sorry.
It's like the shape of the...
My brain went stupid. It's okay. I just had a moment. A do. Fire. Okay. Fire, statue, boom.
cube.
I don't know. What can we do with that?
We've been told that we need to defeat it in some way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm still unstoppable. If I hit anything 2 more times, 1 more time, I'm not unstoppable.
Perhaps I will shade out to...
Does that last through a rest?
Oh, we rested. Well, it doesn't say it ends if I rest. It just says it's for a long rest. If I drop out of unstoppable. Oh, the scene ends.
Yeah, the scene ended.
Okay, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
No longer unstoppable.
I'm
Now
stopped.
stoppable.
I'm
You've
stoppable.
been
You
stopped.
haven't been stopped.
I
You
have not.
you just can be stopped.
Not yet.
Yes.
I am no longer resistant to physical damage.
The knitting circle and the Blackbeards have both emerged out on the rooftops, and they're starting to waylay on their battle box.
I think that first of all, I would like to
Who knew you could do that with a needle?
use Tava's armor, which is just an action,
Okay.
not a roll.
Just cheating old biddies.
And then I
What are they
would like
feeding them?
to shade out to the right, and unless they don't have anything they want to do, I'm just going to shoot it and see what happens.
I'm uncertain.
That was on the same page I was on earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Now that we know.
Sidestepping.
Yeah,
good.
just kind of like, a little bit there, and pew,
With your staff.
with my staff. And then I go pew with my staff. Crit.
A crit.
Woo! And what happened
Crit.
to the
Did you get a hope?
Puts you into the lead.
Oh,
Woo!
yeah, baby.
Gain hope, clear stress.
Gain a hope. Clear a stress. And it says if the attack was a critical success, take the maximum potential value of all of your damage dice added together and add it as a modifier to your damage roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that if it does 2d6 plus 3, then I add 12 to the roll. Correct. Okay.
Correct. Big damage on a crit.
Make that box explode.
2d6 plus 3. 16 plus 3 is 19 magical damage.
19 almost severe damage.
Okay.
Marks 2 hit points. As these blasts hit it.
Does it react in any way?
Not
Obviously, it's
particularly.
not its turn, but...
Yeah. It's inanimate.
Okay.
Well, it is animate, but it's not showing any kind of emotion.
And is there like, there's like energy like visibly coursing across the surface, basically? Okay.
Crackling and sparking off of it.
Okay. And did it... It just took damage, like, there's now like a small little scorch marks or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well,
Action is still on all of you. For a success with hope and a crit. You are already guaranteed to finish before the first silence.
whoa.
Okay. Well,
I'm worried about the knitting circle.
Should you succeed.
yeah, those old ladies. There's really, I don't think I'm the one.
What do you
It's
mean?
not me. But I can support.
You can't hit it?
Not unless I walk up to it.
You need to be unstoppable again for that.
I mean, I guess I could walk up and hit it, but I just don't have ranged. So I'm not the one. But I can support.
I mean, like, right now, it's probably not going to explode, so you probably could get one hit in. If you wanted to.
Chaos Queen.
It's logical. It's probably going to explode at the end when it's, like, close to just breaking, so.
Okay, I mean, do you wanna hit it? Do you wanna throw something at it?
You want tag team?
Do you wanna hit it together?
Show the sweet moves you've been working on?
How much hope is that to do again?
One of you spends 3 hope.
Why do I have a High School Musical moment in my head? So stupid.
No, music.
Okay.
What tag team maneuver?
I
Oh,
have 2
yeah.
hope. I only got 2 hope.
You got 2 hope? I got 3. Oh, I have 4. You wanna? What do you want to do? You wanna do you want a melee or do you want to do a ranged attack?
We can combine together. I can do a toss with the quarterstaff, and you can hit it in your shell
What?
and fling you like a catapult style.
I like it.
Oh.
That's like something I would do. You should totally do it.
Wow.
It's your hope. Hope for the best.
That's a lot of hope. Sure. Use the full force of your body in the fight.
Yeah.
Just tuck in. Start spinning. Use momentum.
He gets it.
Do you do better damage with the javelin or with a melee weapon?
I have a quarterstaff.
Yeah, with your quarterstaff. Is that your best weapon? Do you-
My only.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And your grappler.
Oh,
That's
the grappler.
mixed.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna spend 3 hope. I'm gonna run in there.
I thought he was flinging you.
Yeah.
You're flinging me. That's
Yeah.
how we're doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're throwing your quarterstaff still?
No, we're using that the catapult. So like you'll be on one end, I'll jump, right?
Okay.
Land, you go flying towards it
Okay.
in your shell.
Okay. And then I attack. I'm gonna
You're
hit it.
You're gonna be the attack.
I am the attack.
So let me just get this straight. You're
the
gonna
falchion.
catapult an armored turtle
Yes.
with your quarterstaff.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Minotaur quarterstaff.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. That
Yes. Extra strength.
Excellent.
Easy.
Heavy duty.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you spend the 3 hope.
Yeah.
You both roll an attack.
Yeah.
Choose which result you take.
It
18 with you.
is risky. We'll
I
take
think
yours.
that's
Do
it.
I need to like encourage you to? Because you look a little nervous.
We haven't rehearsed this one in a while.
Yeah, honestly, all the practicing, that's make an attack roll with advantage by putting an extra. It's too late though. We already rolled. It is what it is. We did it.
What do you got?
18 with fear.
18 with fear on a tag team. Does hit.
Cool.
Both roll damage.
Am I adding the... Are we adding the quarterstaff for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, with the quarterstaff.
Fair enough.
Physical.
Jeez.
11. Physical.
Nice work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty.
So-
That was pretty
Nice.
good for one time.
It definitely takes severe damage from that.
Sick.
You would have to move a bit closer, Mogar.
Oh, I have to move.
I got you. As you fling Tulok towards the combat cube, the battle box,
The combat key battle box.
but you see that it starts to power up as you do so, as you rolled with fear, putting the action onto it. One of you roll that die.
But send that thing to the other side of the table. Oh, one of us have to do it?
I mean, anybody at the table can roll it, but
Is that Mania Beam?
I know.
Mana
I
beam.
don't know.
Oh,
We just
God.
got fear. We just did the fear. You guys do it.
Yeah.
Wuss.
For a psionic wine.
Ah!
Sick.
I like it.
Psionic wine?
As the cube starts to roll and
It just
tumble.
goes, but I don't want to.
I feel like the non-physical one was not the way to go for me.
It starts to roll and tumble its way across the tower top. One side after another showing itself until it finally settles down. One of the enchanted circles on the face at the top, you see suddenly rises up slightly, almost like a hatch releasing, and a swarm of tiny insects comes buzzing out and around.
I don't like that at all.
All targets within close range, which is everybody, the swarms emerge around you.
Wait, soon as within close
Not
range?
everybody.
Close range is, 30 feet.
Oh,
Whoa.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
All of you, please make a presence reaction roll. Use my dice.
okay. 13.
Fail. 15 is the
Okay.
number.
Fail.
17.
Success.
18.
Presence reaction.
Yes.
I hissed
What did you say,
so loudly.
Mogar?
18.
That is also a success.
What are we trying to be?
On a fail, you take 19 magic damage that cannot be reduced by armor.
Whoa.
It cannot be reduced by armor?
Wouldn't you just die? That's a lot of damage.
Yep.
You said 19 magic damage that cannot be reduced by armor.
On a fail. Correct.
Which I did.
As the buzz of this swarm just
Wait a minute.
creeps
Wait.
into your mind and starts shredding through.
Hold on.
Success is 9 magic damage that can't be reduced by armor.
Can't you reduce?
Cannot.
Hold on. I am a shield to very close. Who's very close?
Mogar.
Only Mogar. Okay, I will shield Mogar.
I'm sorry.
Wait.
I'm successful.
9.
You were successful?
Yes, I don't think I would need as much as others.
And
the
it
only
was
one close by.
how much?
We're very close to her.
19 on a fail.
So, how many hit points do you have to take for 9? 1?
2.
I'll take one. I'll take it. I'll mark a stress and take one. And I will take 2. I'm just gonna calculate that because I'm pretty sure.
What
that's
is... How is that ability worded that you're using?
Okay. Hold on. Whoa. I am your ally. When an ally very close to you is going to take damage, you can mark a stress to stand in its way and take the damage instead. Reduce the damage by a value equal to your strength trait. You can also reduce the damage by spending armor slots.
How does Tulok prevent this damage from getting to Mogar?
So what is this that's actually damaging us?
It has released a swarm of what looks like tiny mechanical insects that are just doing this high-pitched buzzing hum all around you.
And our presence roll tried to do what?
To resist it shredding your mind. The psionic wine.
So when when they came for Mogar, I threw my shield out and I don't know, I spun that and so it distracts, so I like spun it like a top in between the two of us and it distracted the insects enough away from him that I wound up taking all of the damage because they knew where that distraction came from.
Great.
And it pulled them all towards me.
And you took 19 and 19?
I took 9 and 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took 3 total because my threshold is 21.
And you got yours?
Yeah, so you guys
Oh,
see even like as the kind of whining starts, he like sways and there's just like a bit of blood runs out of his ear, and then he starts to topple over and just like holding his staff just plants it, and there's a flash of energy and it runs up his arm and over his whole body, and he uses Wizard's Hope to spend 3 hope instead of marking his last hit point.
The second you started, I'm like, Wizard's Hope. Wizard's
You got
Hope.
yours? You
Also,
got yours?
real glad I got a hope back on that last roll.
Oh my
You
god.
got yours, Suni?
Yeah.
All right.
Holy
The
shit.
got
battle
those.
box is
Do you
then
have-
relentless, so
Yes.
it will go again.
No.
Please roll the die again.
Somebody else. None of these are good.
The stunning clap. So it continues
Well,
to
probably won't kill you.
roll around.
Did you put do nothing on there, perhaps?
Honestly, you can just steal the turn. Just move. What's his name?
Existential crisis.
So you see it almost bounces up into the air, spinning and turning end over end. The faces all flashing in front of you before landing again, and different faces showing at the top of it, which also flares up with energy. And you see all the 5 sides up on the cube, all kind of push out slightly, release, showing a small gap before they clap back into place. Everybody in very close range, which is Mogar and Tulok, please make a strength reaction roll.
Better you guys than us.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That actually works out really well for team dynamics.
19.
Success.
13.
Fail. You are vulnerable until the battle box has become defeated.
I will mark a stress
no.
to immediately deal weapon damage to the creature at half proficiency rounded up.
Okay.
A D10 plus 7.
What's that feature?
That is retaliation.
Okay.
When I take damage from a creature in melee range, I can mark a stress
You didn't
to...
take damage.
You became vulnerable. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I should have done that last time. I mean, oh dang.
So vulnerable means you're temporary in a difficult position.
I didn't do that last time.
But you don't know.
Because you were thinking about
all
choking
the
over.
things. Yeah, we focused on
So when you are vulnerable, all rolls targeting you have advantage.
It might not actually be that bad.
And
These are saving throw rolls or reaction rolls.
In what way does this thunderous clapping sound make Mogar more vulnerable in this moment? Is it just like overwhelming his minotaur ears?
It's sending vibrations through my horns, actually. Like
They're like resonating with
rod,
it.
you know? Yeah, so it's like
It just won't stop.
it's actually a
migraine.
little worse than the psionic wine. It's a little more
Yeah, it's just kind of making you a little bit more distracted
Yeah.
and unable to react as quickly in this moment. That is both of its relentless actions. The action is back on you.
I would really like to drink that whole.
Yeah, you
I-
should do that.
I do that.
Do you have a bigger one than?
do.
Okay,
Excellent.
So that's an action, but not a roll.
Do you want to move as well as you do that?
Yes. Away.
That's where you go.
Back along the parapet. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
I kind of also want to drink a healing potion. when
You
we're
can
done
move
with that.
farther than that. It just does require a roll.
Yeah, I don't roll for it yet.
And then you grab one of the provided healing pots that was given at the start of this tournament. Drink that down. Action still on all of you.
I kind of also want to do that. Can I do that too? Is that an action so then I can't attack if I do?
And you can
But it's
again,
another
attack.
action.
Only
It's
two
an action, but it's another action for attack.
Does anyone else need to do that?
You can with a crit and a tag team. This thing is already quite battered.
Yeah, I just don't want to open myself up to die.
Yeah, health first, and then
Health first, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take the health potion and stay where I am.
Okay. Who wants to try to attack?
So that was an action.
Because I can tag team with someone potentially. Although I suppose we're both right next to each other, so.
you want to attack you? What do we got? I was gonna
use Arcane Barrage potentially.
nice. Okay.
Because I've got like full hope right now, so I can devote 3, so it's 3d6.
Nice. I can power push it.
Yeah, that actually sounds
Like, give it like an alley-oop, sort of. Nope, not power push. That's melee range. Something else. Oh, ice spikes. I'll ice spikes it. Right?
combine our
Or
stuff.
maybe I should Mystic Tether it. That's not damage, though. We should do damage.
Yeah, no, we should do damage.
Okay.
Or keeping it from moving is nice too.
So, well,
Yeah, but for a tag team...
I mean, I guess it's on the brink.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, just kill it.
Okay.
So yours is Ice Spike? Ice Spike, Arcane Barrage.
Yeah.
Kill the box. Kill the box.
Okay.
The boss box.
It's your hope, so you start us off, I think.
Oh wait, if I spend the hope, wait, do we both roll or just
Yes.
one? Okay.
You spend the hope, and
What does your tag team maneuver look like?
We both have staffs, right? So we could
Am I the only one not rocking the staff?
conjure kind of together, but we're like facing each other, so we both kind of build on the different hand movements.
Okay.
And
or
then,
staffs.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then we both like cast it out
Cool.
together at the same time.
And yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Oh,
so
I
all three of you
automatically
guys
strike.
have quarter staffs.
Yeah. Okay, so I
Or
roll.
staffs.
Oh, that's an
Same
interesting one.
staffs?
This hers is an auto hit. Mine is a roll.
I would imagine that's what they're trying to do. I just want to
So do I like also roll to see like
But is this
who like gets who's rolls higher, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Or like,
I would say
Imagine now that
it would
you guys do
either
coordinated staff dances.
yours is going through no matter what,
Automatically.
and depending on your roll, you can add the damage or not. Or if you both want to roll, you take that risk of yours not being an auto hit.
if only I'm rolling, would I get like advantage on it?
I don't think so.
Because this thing is like once per short rest, like it's very special for this. So I feel like me doing a roll to risk it not hitting is kind of like gimping the point of it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather like you just have a slight edge for your roll. Because mine automatically hits, that kind of makes narrative sense that you would get a little bit of an edge. But it's still a chance for that thing to fail because it always could.
Interesting. What's the tag team move say? That's not on my sheet.
The tag team move says each player can choose a one-time per session to spend 3 hope and initiate a tag team roll with another PC, which Gemini's do. When you do, work with your chosen partner to describe how you combine your actions in a unique and exciting way. You both make separate action rolls, but before resolving the roll's outcome, choose one of the rolls to apply for both of your results. If the action tracker is active, this roll only takes one action token. On a roll with hope, the PC whose action roll was used gains the hope. If your tag team on an attack roll and it succeeds, you both roll damage, then add it together to determine the damage dealt. If the action tracker is active, only place one token.
That is a tricky one, and I need to figure it out because you're going to do that frequently.
I mean, you could say that Jenna could roll, but she can't fail.
I mean, to be fair...
Well, she's not likely to fail either way because you're choosing which roll you're using.
I know, but what I'm saying is that, like, even if her roll would fail, she can't. I guess that makes sense. Sure, that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Like,
for now, I'll say you both roll. Yeah, just do it as a regular tag team attack. You choose which one of them you use, whichever one you choose gains the hope if they gain hope.
but if we were to both fail, she would still do damage.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, so mine will still automatically strike the hope that I used to power that. It will all still work.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, your role is less about your attack and more about combining it with what Yvain is doing.
Okay, so I have a 15. What do you have?
Wait, this is just the straight roll?
This is spellcasting.
Okay, so we add the knowledge to it. 18, I think?
Okay, nice.
Hope or fear?
Mine is hope.
Mine is also hope. So
That's
I'll
good.
take yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
18 with hope.
You gain hope and roll damage.
Hell yeah, yeah. Alright, 5 for me.
Ooh. 12.
Nice. 17.
17.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's great.
Imagine, like, it's kind of psychedelic because you have the ice shards, and then the arcane barrage, I always think of that as like a shimmery, almost rainbow look.
Well, I imagine that the
It's
ice
the water.
spikes, like shoot up from the floor of this, tower top, and just pin it in place for a moment, holding it while your arcane barrage kind of arcs out and strikes into it.
And as it does so, you can see that your arcane blasts and the ice are pulling the faces of the cube apart and attacking the enchanted circles themselves, causing them to lose their hold and charge. As the cube explodes outwards.
Carter.
Uh-oh.
I need everybody to please make an instinct reaction roll. As the announcer just says, "I don't believe it, folks! Hijinks by Jax in a matter of seconds upon entering the rooftop have taken down the Battlebox!" Ah! The crowd starts yelling as a crit and 2 tag team moves.
Yeah, this is kind of our thing, just,
Yep.
immediate brutal violence.
Oh no.
5. No, sorry, 7.
8.
Oh boy.
21.
That's a success.
Lucky
Thank
number
you.
7.
6, 7, 8. Nice.
Those of you that failed take 20 magic damage.
Love that.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we can use armor to reduce this one, right?
You can.
Oh,
Okay.
But it's magic.
Yes.
It is.
it was 20, right?
Yes.
I
Success
should
is
have
10.
seen that coming.
As all of the overcharged arcane energy inside of it suddenly explodes out across the tower top. Taking the battle box out. And the crowd is, you can hear the announcer is saying something, but the crowd is so deafening in this moment, you can't even tell what it is that he is saying out, but you can see that every jumbotron around the arena is now projecting a illusory image of your fight, finishing up kind of those quick few moments of it happening, the final few, the two of you working this spell together, happening up wide, and you can see like some of the things that the two of you were pulling off together, you're not even sure what you're doing or how you knew to do it. Seeing it played back just a moment later as the crowd is going nuts, and a few heartbeats behind, there is another explosion on a tower top nearby.
I'm not out there.
Nice.
It's the needle ladies, isn't it?
Damn sewing club.
The crowd finally begins, the roars start to die down some. All of you feel that the feeling of self-confidence and pride in your own skills and abilities swells even further inside of you in this moment as the entire city is yelling and cheering for each and every one of you. And you can hear the announcer come back in and just say, "That's it! That's it! Everyone drop your weapons! Drop your weapons! We have our 2 remaining champions left on the field of battle. First, Hijinks Bijinks quickly defeated their battle box, but followed closely behind by the first Scions. We hope you join us all tomorrow as they duke it out in the final trial of challengers. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you all coming out this evening to enjoy this fun festivities with us, and we hope you have a safe and pleasant trip home."
Can I see Vestian from the other tower top?
You look over towards, and you can see the explosion is kind of just clearing over on their tower top, and you do see the big rhinoceros beetle horned shape of Dinah kind of reaching down his hand and pulling up Vestian from the ground from the end of their battle, and you see he's kind of like registering what the announcer says, and he just looks over his shoulder at all of you.
Hey, Vestian!
You have stone.
Oh yeah, well, you know, this is more fun.
Also
and I
feel
yell
like
again until she looks.
She looks over and kind of like looks up, and like some of the jumbotrons all immediately go to the two of you just as you blow out. She unable to blush, but you recognize the emotion on her face as she starts to smile, and then you see her eyes just go wide as they look up at the jumbotrons around. She quickly hides behind
See,
Dinah.
that was worth it.
Okay, I understand. Maybe you are better at flirting than I am. That was so fast.
Yeah, that was
Violent.
the crit followed by 2 tag teams was like gross damage output.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. We should
Very well
roll again.
done.
How are you
Excellent.
feeling
It
though?
did, like,
I
wipe
saw
out
you
my
take.
hope, though.
You're a champ.
Is good to have health potion.
The hatch on the rooftop opens up, and you see a few of the trial attendants coming up with like med kits to kind of patch you guys up from the wounds that you had taken.
Oh, that feels nice.
How patched up do we get?
It's not going to matter. That patched up.
Our armor
Are
gets
they good
fixed up.
stress relievers too?
Yeah. We get a massage and sewing needle.
Good med mask?
They don't get you full short rest patched up, but they at least keep you on your feet to get down to the full med bay down below. And you do see that each of them does kind of check that each of you are in enough of a condition to be moved out after that final explosion, and then they are kind of gesturing and kind of half leading back down through the tower. But you can see that like the crowd is still all around, like nobody's departing yet. They're all yelling and cheering. You're starting to hear like a chanting being taken up. Hi, James, bye, Jack. Hi, James, bye, Jax. Jumbotrons are still showing. All of you standing about kind of the scrying sensor they're using and the swirl around the tower top, showing each of the teams, but more specifically focusing on the two sets that finished first.
If only we could send this to Jax. I wish that she could see your hijinks by Jax.
Maybe her god will have her sew it in some tapestry.
Perhaps there is a book in the library that let her watch from afar. I don't know.
Oh, is that a thing?
There is a library that appear on octopus tentacles out of stream and walk off into distance and disappear. A lot of things are possible.
That's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
my whole culture can make books that lead to other worlds. Anything possible.
It's true. We are doing it! Congratulations, that was magnificent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were awesome.
Now let's
All of
find
us.
out what's in the basement. There's
There
a
is-
mystery.
There is
Well, first
one more
let's-
challenge.
Oh,
We
God,
are have
okay.
to kick ass of Tran
That's
tomorrow.
true. I think that is more your challenge. Goal, your thing that you want to do more than anything else. But
Also,
Yet it is a final challenge of tournament.
yeah, but you want to do it. This just
You
gets
are doing
excused.
is that the next challenge? That's what.
We are have to battle it out with first Scion.
Oh, so we can become best tippy top champion.
So we
And
are
then
have to
you
kick
get-
ass of Tran.
And then you get a promotion. Is that what she was saying? You just get a promotion when you win this? Or you're
I
just
don't
more
know. She has not
promotable?
promised exactly promotion, but he's say that would be grounds for increasing clearance levels sufficient to obtain necessary information. Specifics not provided by first person.
This is all just so roundabout. Like I get
Yes.
that she's got to be high enough level to grant a clearance.
I
you
mean,
know?
it's
This
very
is how they work. This
political.
is have to test, prove self. This is how
Paperwork.
always
But
they
you
are.
think just getting the amulet and bringing it back would be enough?
She also,
It is
to be clear on the matter, and at the end of the combat, I'm going to use up all these action tokens to get another fear.
Oh no.
Why
Why got
She-
Bjorka?
It's already, even if he gets further clearance, he's not going to have enough for her to tell you what you want to know. So she's breaching protocol already for that. You get promotions in the convocation by showing your skill, your prowess, your merit.
Kicking ass of Tran.
And she's saying this would be based on the previous mission combined with this. It will be enough that she can like bend the rules enough to get him further up the chain, slightly more clearance, and then bend them even further to have a discussion about the mysteries that you seek. So it's not winning the tournament gets you a raise in the convocation. It is she's trying to find any way she can to help. But she's not willing to completely ignore the laws and rules in place.
However, does get the bragging right. Very important in the convocation. There is sometimes long time between promotions. Bragging rights, feeling get.
Well, so, you know, if that's you're happy with that, yeah.
The
Start.
Why not just brag?
It's better when you know you can back up.
Are you continuing on the rooftop of your tower with the crowds
I thought we
cheering,
went
or
downstairs to like get patched up.
they were trying to lead you, but I was
Yeah.
leaving it up to
Oh,
you
no.
whether or not you followed?
Yeah, I
or...
thought we
Yeah,
were
I think
walking
we-
on the
we
way
get
down
led.
to the med
Yeah.
tent.
We get led, yeah.
Yeah. And you see as you come down through the kind of rehabilitation room that you had come through previously, and then down into the tower itself. The towers are now completely whole and stable and solid, providing safe passage down to ground level. As you come out onto the bare sand floor of the arena, you can see the other remaining challengers that had made it to the top of the tower, their respective towers, also being kind of led back. And as each of you comes out from the doors of your respective towers, more cheers come up from the crowd. And even those that didn't, the Knitting Circle and the Blackbeards that didn't finish in time, they still get some cheers as they go off as well. But the loudest sets of cheers are for the First Scions, the hometown favorites, and Hijinks Bijacks, the ones that finished fastest, showing their excellent use of teamwork and the camaraderie they have and the hope they have in themselves, pushing them through to the finish line faster than all of the others.
Do we get hope from all of these people cheering?
The cheer of the crowd swells your pride further and further. You feel that maybe you could do just about anything. What feat does Suni feel in this moment she could overcome, she could complete? Something that seemed a challenge and a difficult obstacle to overcome, and suddenly you were just swelled with such pride and confidence that you feel that the world is yours.
So we have the mystery of what's going on in the world, and it seems pretty huge to her. And it has to do with her homeland and the books, and maybe ancient magic. And there's that initial interest in it being this mystery and being like knowledge to obtain. But there's also like the fact that it feels kind of overwhelming. Like, this is really big, and there's already like red tape that she's running into, having to do all this, like the challenge to even get clearance. And so there's always been like a part of her being like curious and interested in what this is and discovering it, but not really sure if like she's up to any kind of big task that might come with it. So she can be a little bit blasé about it, but deep down it's like this could be really serious and really big and bigger than what she might be able to even handle. But in this moment, it kind of feels like, well, maybe that's not true. Maybe I can do these bigger things. Maybe I know more and am more than I think. And with these people around me that like we've grown to like know each other and kind of understand our strengths and weaknesses and be able to play off of them in those tag team moments, maybe that means that she could do things that she used to think were impossible.
And that shadow of self-doubt nestled in the back of your mind is suddenly washed out by the blinding light of your greatness.
Well, that's very dangerous.
You do feel this overwhelming confidence that you were destined for this. You could take it all, and it will be easy.
Is that?
This is the beginning of my villain arc, just so you know.
Is that feeling like perceptible as coming? Is that like the way that you're describing it? Sounds like it is a feeling that is coming from somewhat of an external source beyond just our own natural responses to the situation. Even though the situation is emotionally kind of overwhelming in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
At least the way that you're describing it sounds to me like there is some sort of effect happening. If that is true, is that perceptible?
I would say to your characters it feels right.
Okay.
Like you said, like in this moment of like so many people just adoring and lifting you up, it just feels right. Like you were meant to be it. You were meant to be the champion. And seeing Glackus still smiling, those perfect teeth as he walks in, he kind of shoots a glance over at you, and you can see a little bit of eagerness and anticipation in his eyes for what's to come tomorrow. You can see that same confidence in him.
For once, I don't even need to say anything to him. I just smile back and lick my lips just a little bit.
You are brought inside out of the late afternoon light of the arena floor and into this dim, almost too dark for your eyes to adjust quickly to corridor that leads back underneath the stands of the arena. And the attendants with you, rather than bringing you to the kind of common locker room that you were in before, take you off down a side corridor to where there's a smaller private locker room for all of you to decompress in after the day's events. And you can see that there are a number of attendants ready to offer any aid you might need in fixing armor, fixing yourselves. There are massage therapists ready to go. There are ice baths and saunas to be taken into. The attendants kind of showing you around all the amenities for the remaining challengers to be had. Getting a bit of the royal treatment, the MVP treatment in this moment of your victory. You all can kind of settle into this room. Make any requests that you have of them.
If there is cold tea with a little bit of honey, I would very much appreciate it.
Immediately. One of them goes over and starts to prepare it. You see the masseuse that has come in to treat each of you is actually this a clank individual, so this metal automaton humanoid creature that has a number of extra limbs onto it and just kind of like protrusions that come out onto
They're
you.
just like a walking Theragun.
Through, yeah, exactly. Just this massive Theragun comes walking in. And it's already like tables are coming out of the walls for people to come and lie down. It looks like with the number of appendages, it can work a few different people at once.
I'm going to live there.
Yeah, I lay down on one of them.
It begins work immediately. And you see, like, through the little face thing that you're at, another attendant kind of brings over a drink with a sippy straw on it for each of you to get a drink. It's important to stay hydrated while you're having a treatment such as this. You all can do a short rest in this room, should you choose to do so. If you have any other plans to leave the arena and with any kind of expediency, but you feel the crowds leaving the arena are going to be jam-packed for a while.
Mechanically, do we gain any hope from that whole ego, like, feeling like we can take on? Okay. Alright, I just wanted to be sure.
But some
That-
hope
that
would
was-
be nice.
It was my initial question, then we went into all that and back.
Yeah, I
to-
distracted you with personal narrative.
No,
I wasn't sure if that was the answer to
Yeah.
the question.
You didn't distract her successfully enough.
Listen, I
Close.
played Rune for like level 1 to 20. I'm sorry.
So I guess I'm gonna do like a mud mask treatment and try to repair my armor twice.
And
You're so cute. So cute.
Cutest fight ever.
we think we're gonna get a long rest before the fight tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, we should be able to sleep. Sleep is important.
I right now am hopeless.
Oh boy.
You know, you gained 1 from our tag team because we.
No, you got it.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
your-
that's right. I have 1 single.
Oh, yeah, because it was your action roll that we used.
Okay.
Well, if you don't get any hope, I'll give you a compliment so that I get hope too, because I have 1 hope.
Whew,
That would be nice.
that is it.
Yeah.
But I prepare. Just
Did I forget? Did we
I try to
roll for
imagine
that?
Glaucus's smile missing a tooth. That's how I prepare for the next day's adventure.
I rolled with fear.
I will.
Guys,
And then I also repair my armor.
That was the only roll I made. I was just trying to remember. I didn't roll with hope at all, so I never would have.
No, that was an impressive half round of combat. You guys destroyed that thing.
Yeah. That's why we don't have any hope, because we didn't roll with any hope.
I don't have any
We
hope.
just spent
Yeah,
hope.
and
We
then also
just-
because I had to wizard's hope to survive.
We just busted through our hope.
and I took that risky business of just wiping out all my hope, being like,
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to do that.
No, it was a good thing I took on that. So
Well,
I
I
would
don't
get.
have to spend hope to become unstoppable, which is good. You know, if we were to like gain a level beforehand, that would be nice.
Oh my god. New things to remember and use.
As you are enjoying the refreshing amenities of your VIP locker room here under the arena, there is a brief, brisk knock at the door before it opens, and you see these 2 kind of lithe, demure, elven attendants, each sweeping into the room, giving not quite a bow, but a bit of a heads down and gesturing with their arms and bodies. As sweeping into the room, you can see another Clank individual, although this one has the metallic casings covering his form are in this very sculpted in the fashion of like a very dapper and suave tuxedo. But all of it, tuxedo and his metallic skin, are all this pristinely polished silver metal, all the way up to and including his face, which has this kind of perfect statuesque chiseled quality to it, and similar to Glaucus, although this one doesn't make you punch it, just this bright, wide smile of perfect teeth in his face. As this automaton comes walking in, gives a bow himself as he does, and he just says, "Greetings, greetings to our remaining challenger." And you immediately recognize the voice that had been coming from the, amplified by the magic of the arena, the voice of the announcer before you, as he gives a little bit of a bow himself.
I'm just imagining like fantasy robot Bruce Bruffer. Like, it's time! Sorry, I didn't run on the mic.
As he just
It's good
says,
for Courtney.
rising up from his slight bow, he kind of claps his hand gently, politely a little bit. He just says, my, that was quite well done, I must say. When you came out onto that rooftop and all of you just together started, you threw, that is the largest galapa I've ever seen. And no offense, ma'am, but you hurled her, your hair just twirling through the air behind, smacking it, and the two of you combining your magic. It was glorious, I must say. Quite well done. Congratulations to all of you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. It is quite a pleasure and an honor to meet all of you. I don't think I've seen any of you listed in the tournaments before this, but my name, of course, is Glorio. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. You kind of see his eyes going around waiting for recognition in anybody's eyes.
It is pleased to meet you. I am Ivan Daroslo. Recently graduated from Academy.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. I must say your entry into the events didn't garner much notoriety at first, but you are the talk of the city now, let me tell you that.
Is that a good thing?
Well, who wouldn't want to be the talk of the city? And you see that perfect smile spreads across his face again.
But then if you want to just like go shopping, like get something to drink, then there's gonna be all these people noticing you.
His smile grows wider as you say that. Yes, it's glorious, isn't it? Anyway, I'm here for other than just my own personal affairs. Of course, it's my duty as the organizer of this event to let you know about what is to be expected and to come for all of you in the next 24 hours. This evening, of course, you have been invited to the High King Citadel for a feast in the honor of the celebrations and in your recent achievements and challenges overcome.
My hand pauses on the way from the popcorn bowl to my mouth.
Wait, who's going to be in attendance?
Oh, everybody.
Oh.
All of the visiting royalty and dignitary. There's even some of the high princes and high princesses in the city this evening, I've heard. They'll all to meet you.
Are there any Mira dignitaries at all?
I haven't heard anything of you.
No. I don't really know anyone here that I would even be able to get that information from.
Oh, how sad. Well, anyway.
The challenges are not yet concluded.
Oh, no, that is the best part.
Does that mean that the first seance will also be at dinner?
Yes, of course. All of the remaining challengers will be honored.
Will the
Before
knitting
the big
circle
event.
be there? I have questions.
The knitting circle. Unfortunately, they were eliminated from the challenge.
Oh, right. So they wouldn't, because they're not remaining challengers.
Right.
Right.
But tomorrow evening, after your faces are plastered all over the city, so everyone can
Right.
know to come cheer for Hijinks by Jax,
Right.
you will be taking on the other remaining challengers. And as victors, I have the honor to let you know that our Magisculptors and event coordinators can offer you nearly anything in regards to what sort of battlefield you'd like this to take place on. It is your right, as finishing the trials fastest, that you get to choose the place of this final combat.
Oh.
But take some time, think about it. You have until tomorrow morning to let us know. They'll need the afternoon to work on it.
Oh, great.
That is very impressive.
Finally, of course, I'm sure that you all have very fine attire back at home. Kind of looks around at each of your adventuring gear outfits that you've all come in.
Or sashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the sashes are left. But we've provided vouchers for each of you to have wardrobe made for this evening's event.
That is most kind.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. Well, we'll think about places.
The field of battle.
Right.
And how are we to inform the major sculptors of the battlefield?
Oh, well, you'll have attendants with you until tomorrow's event.
Wait, there's
If
going
we
to
were
be
to-
people following us around?
Yes, to see to anything you might need before the event tomorrow.
If we were to say something like, I don't know, the basement of the convocation.
We can't do that yet.
We could certainly replicate it in the arena.
So
You are
The exact room.
overthinking that.
Oh, no, that is fun. That is the exact room that we want to go into.
I don't know.
Everyone gets this clearance. No, I was thinking, you know, you have like mirrors set up, like walls, and then like things, Galactus's face, kind of just insulting him the whole entire time. The whole entire time.
It is very funny.
He comes around the room, coming to shake each of your hands individually, and as he does so, he does hand you a voucher. For Betsy's Boutique, he says, they do the finest work. My suit, of course, is custom made and, well, you know, a part of me, but hers is, if I were to get clothes, I would get them from her.
Have you ever thought of getting a hat from her?
So many hats.
Oh, I could tell. You look like the kind of person that would.
Although it can be difficult and he kind of goes up and ding, ding, ding on the sculpted hair that he has. He says, it can be difficult to find the ones that fit just right, but she does a wonderful job. Custom made each and every one of them. Well, you have a big evening in front of you. If you need anything, please reach out to one of our attendants, and of course, I will see you at dinner tonight. And with this twirl on his toes, and even though he's not wearing, you can almost envision a cape kind of flaring out behind him as he gives this dramatic theatrical twirl and heads out of the door, his two attendants kind of scurrying along in front of him, which the door closes behind him.
Do you think he was made like that was his personality, or he just like rose to fame and then that personality just formed?
I don't know. I've never met the Clank like this before. But he is certainly one of a kind. Either way, we are going to dinner at High King Citadel.
We have to get fancy clothes sometime. We should get our measurements as soon as possible. Give them plenty of time.
I suppose that is true.
You know that the magical tools and equipment given to most craftsmen and workers in the city, they can get wardrobes for each of you almost at the snap of a finger.
Wow.
It would normally be costly to do so, but you have these vouchers.
Alright, so we could just, you know, procrastinate to the very last minute and we'll be fine.
Or that.
Yeah, they won't mind. Do it all the time.
Perhaps
3
we
a.m.
should go. I think we head down into the city.
Head out from the
Right,
arena.
unless there's anything anyone else wanted to do in the massage room.
We pry Mogar off the bed.
No. I want another one too. Let's fight them.
Let's bring them with us.
Just have the attendees that are following us as well.
Just get them to bring the tent along.
You are drunk on power.
We can do everything.
Heading out from the
I
arena.
love Suni.
You do have a few, basically an attendant for each of you, 4 in total, follow along with you to see if there's anything you need or require before tomorrow's big event. They do seem to be at your beck and call until then. And as you come out from the arena itself, you can see the main locker room has emptied at this point. The crowd and the hustle and bustle that was here before is now just like, it feels so that much more hollow and vacant with the life removed from it. But you can hear the kind of murmur of the city streets above as you come out. And coming up the ramp from beneath the arena, there you hear a shout of, "There they are! There they are!" And suddenly a big crowd of waiting people all kind of come emerging over into this area. You see a number of them kind of like holding up the event brochures. I don't know what they call the things that they give out, like sporting events, but they're holding these out. The playbill with your pictures on them, trying to get autographs and signatures.
I
from
lower
all
my
of you.
sunglasses and I get out my pen.
Just ready.
I mean,
I
comes
turn my
through
head
his muscle,
slightly.
like, okay, give her space.
They tend to just give me like a little straw out of the thing, catnip maybe, and then I go back.
Continue to sign.
One at a time, one at a time.
How long do you indulge your fans?
I mean, we have a place to go, so I'm assuming we're slowly like moving forward, do a little bit, move forward a little bit, do a little bit more. I don't know how crazy the crowds are.
They're not like, it's not mob in any variety, but they will definitely, like, as many of them as you will sign for are all trying to get your autograph. But as they see that, as your attendants see that you are trying to keep moving through the crowd a little bit, you see some of the arena staff coming out in their like red vests that they're all wearing over their white tabards, their white tunics. They start coming out and like helping to disperse the crowd a little bit around all of you. But it seems like the fan base for Hijinks Bijacks has grown exponentially since you entered the arena.
There was no fan base this morning, so.
A fan base of 4.
And you can start heading through the city streets itself over to the Silk Road, as it were, over in the Merchants District, where all of the boutiques and shops of the like are situated over through there. You see along the street as you're heading down, and those of you from the city, kind of a general idea of getting your way around, and you come across this this massive sprawling structure that takes up almost a whole block of this section of the Silk Road city street, but it all seems to be almost kind of squat and flat, only about a story tall, where many of the other buildings around it are like reaching up towards the sky. And you can see it seems like, rather than made of stone or wood or any kind, it is kind of this flowing in the wind fabric, changing from one fabric, from velvet to silk to denim to wool, in a variety of colors and patterns, all kind of waving its way down the street along the facade of this building, and along the top of it, kind of scrolling along with the wave of the fabric. You do see Betsy's Boutique kind of scrolling past and announcing some of the deals going on for this week's festival events. And going over towards the door and heading inside, you can see that there are a number of private rooms all around the entryway. Beyond, through these glass windows, you can see these massive constructions of basically like looms and weaving devices, all powered by arcane devices with their you can see kind of like wires and cables that are running out through the wall that are often present in the city as they are drawing arcane power to power all of these machines and devices, and they are all producing all these different fabrics and cutting and sewing them together in their various different states. It is almost this a chaotic symphony happening beyond these glass windows on display for the public to see of all of these various fashions being put together. And there are a number of selections and samples and different fashions on display immediately inside. As a small gnome woman comes over to greet all of you, she herself wearing a very fanciful and elegant gown, although you can tell there's a bit of the beauty of the gown is played down a little bit so as to not outshine what the customers are purchasing in this moment. She comes over to greet all of you, kind of pulling some glasses down and sliding them into a pocket. She just says, "Hello, welcome to Betsy's Boutique. How can I help all of you?"
Hello. We are Hijinks by Jax, and we have voucher from.
As soon as you
Gloria?
hold it out, you see her gnomish hand deftly comes out, clink, 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 plucks them from your fingertips. She says, "Excellent, just this way, just this way." And she kind of walks over, nodding her head a little bit. You're just in time. I must tell you that we've gotten the latest fashion designs in from Kinfell, and they look marvelous. They are the talk of the town. I heard that everybody's wearing them at this evening's celebrations.
Well, if everyone's wearing them, then how do we stand out?
I like your style. You and I are going to get along fabulously. Please, come this way. Tell me, what is your season?
Autumn.
Winter.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, it's like usually when...
Spring.
She is summer. Look at hair. She is summer.
She says, "I know. I just like to make sure that my customers know. Please come this way." And she brings you in to one of these private rooms within. And you can see, as she brings you inside, there is kind of another of these illusory display screens. As she comes in, it kind of powers up and shows a suit and dress that kind of match each other up on the screen. Beautifully displayed on these models in these illusions as she comes in and she starts to kind of flash through it, sliding across, showing you different fashions and trims that are available. She kind of like comes to one of the outfits puts together, and as she scrolls in different directions around on her illusory screen, you can see like the fabric changes on it or the cut of it. And she even takes what almost seems like a slim, almost more like a ruler than a wand, this metal flat device that she takes to each of you and kind of runs it head to toe, kind of like coming up onto this little step stool to get all the way to the tops of one of you. And then she says, I'm going to need another step stool for these ones. As she looks over at the 7'12" Minotaur.
That's right.
Getting all of your measurements, and once she does, she's even kind of going through some of them and putting up yourselves on the screen, already wearing perfectly cut and tailored outfits for each of you. What does each of you choose for your formal evening wear to go into tonight's event?
Well, so mine is a little black dress, but it's orange.
Orange
This is a new black? Yeah.
And it's an open back dress. So it's
For your
very
seashell.
classy. Yeah, so it slopes down below the shell. And then it's a little low cut, but it's very like form
It's also a shell on the front.
But it's very low, but it's very classy. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little scandalous, yeah. My open back dress, my shell
Okay.
back dress, yeah. That's it. It's a bombshell dress, get it? I did it.
Okay.
So Suni is going to be wearing a Marathi kind of cut, traditional formal wear, which kind of, I guess, would look kind of like an Indian kind of, like how they have that kind of wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And the colors, its base is red with gold. I forget the term because I don't know how to like sew and stuff, but like gold patterning basically.
Like embroidery.
Yeah. With a little bit of like jade green pop color on the outfit, and it's slightly enchanted where when she's moving there's almost like a little flicker of flame at the edges.
Ooh.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. She knows what she wants.
That girl's on fire. So chaotic.
So I'm going to have robes that are a little bit longer than what I already have, but it's going to be more like a stone gray. And on the shoulder parts, it's going to be, I guess, a little more knitted in like this in the look, but it would be more like a lime green to kind of look like a patches of moss on the shoulder. And then some of the side will have extra like longer ribbons on the side, a little bit thicker around the neck. And then as it comes down, it drapes down a little bit longer, like darker brown, lighter brown, like a beige maybe, to complement each other.
I think there's like wizard formal.
Yes.
You know,
Wizard's always formal.
No, absolutely not.
Wizards are slobs.
I think it's not like, but I don't think robes. I'm thinking like, sort of like, loose trousers and like exactly a blouse, but not a blouse either. You know,
Like a tunic?
I don't want to wear a button shirt.
What?
Seinfeld reference.
And it's like the word like a mantle or something. Like that's what I think. That's what I think the word
I hear
is.
mantle and I just somehow
Fireplace.
No, World at War kind of shoulder programs.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit, but not like that. Give me a sec. What clothing is a mantle? A mantle, from Old French mantle, from mantle, the Latin term for a cloak, is a type of loose garment usually worn over indoor clothing to serve the same purpose as an overcoat. Technically, the term describes a long, loose cape-like cloak worn from the 12th to the 16th century by both sexes, although by the 19th century it was used to describe any loose-fitting, shaped outer garment similar to a cape. For example, the dolman, a 19th century cape-like woman's garment with partial sleeves, is often described as a mantle.
Alright, now we know.
So like loose, a little longer in the back, sort of like a cloak, but it does not serve the same like technical purpose because it doesn't actually protect you from the weather at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it sort of suggests a cloak. No, it's like it kind of like
It's a shawl. It's a men's shawl.
I guess like does a shawl have like a shawl is like one
Just
piece with like
covers your
a neck
shoulders.
hole.
Yeah, I mean,
But shawl you like wrap
that's
around a
poncho.
little more. Yeah, this is more like a poncho.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, this is more like a formal wizard's poncho.
a formal wizard's
A
poncho.
A formal
Oh,
wizard's
wizard's
poncho.
poncho.
I like
Never
it.
heard.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it does have a cowl, although I'm not wearing it. And I think that the pants are like a dark charcoal. The blouse tunic is white, and the mantle is like a deep blue with like silver piping.
Question.
Mm.
Do we get jewelry with my getup?
You can have jewelry on loan as part of the voucher.
I want bangles.
Bangles are provided with the outfit.
When I see Suni get bangles, I get bangles too.
Yeah,
Bangle,
buddies!
bangle,
Bangle buddies! Also, a nice accent earring on one side with the jade, like actual jade to match with the jade accents.
She finally looks, each of your pieces kind of being brought out to actually physically be tried on and then to check for adjustments. And as they go in for their final adjustments, you see the arcane machinery kind of quickly taking out some of the seams and readjusting and putting it all back together before each of you is finally in the outfit requested for you. She kind of takes a step back and just says, "Well, I must say, you all look stunning.
Thank you.
You're the very kind.
This has been quite the enlightening experience. Dressing each of you, your tastes are quite eclectic, but I've been given some new inspiration from each of you, and I just hope that you're proud.
Your work is fantastic.
Lovely.
Please, feel free to come back anytime and make sure everyone at the gala tonight knows where you got your outfits.
We'll do that. They will.
You know, the red carpet when they ask. That's his boutique.
Betsy's.
Okay. Thank you. Happy feast of challenges.
To you as well. And she leads you out, kind of taking your champagne flutes that were offered to you as you came in from you, as you head back out into the streets. It is early evening at this point, so you have a little bit of time to kind of do your own thing, but time approaches to head back to the High King's Citadel for a feast in your honor. And let's take a break there before we come back to whatever hijinks you get up to in there.
Bye, Jax.
Everyone out there in audience land, thank you for sticking with us. We're taking a quick bio break and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. We'll see you then. And we are back. Welcome back to Fail with Hope. We are continuing on in this adventure in the capital city of Sanctuary, where
we're just gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing it.
where we just witnessed a resounding victory over the Battlebox. All of you coming together, showing off the moves that you had been preparing in preparation for this event. And in your victory, being one of the final two teams left in the tournament, you have been invited to a feast, a celebration in your honor, along with the first scions at the Citadel of the High King himself, where apparently all of the big names present in the city will be present this evening. If there's anything you wanted to do before this event occurs, you have an hour or two to do anything else. Otherwise, carriages come to pick you up at the time appointed to bring you from your residence here in the dormitories of the academy, and up to the Citadel itself. It's gleaming, pristine walls towering up above you, giving a strong military feel and presence to this section of the city. The gates are open as carriages are brought through, and you can see already there are dozens of carriages, both unloading passengers and being pulled away. And beyond them, further out in the courtyard, you can see dozens more already parked and people coming up the hill to get in as well. As each of you emerges from the carriage in your elegant, formal wear for tonight's event, there are a number of servants and attendants all out coming to greet each of you, to usher you inside, take your coats and the like, and to welcome you into the citadel of the High King. Once again, you come through this large entryway with these beautifully fluted columns supporting a high arched ceiling overhead, a number of murals and frescoes around, displaying the feats and victories of High King Tarkin himself in forming and uniting this mega kingdom that he has created in its honor. There are a number of well-dressed guests in their finery and formal wear, kind of chatting in small groups, but others are being ushered up the kind of twinned curving ramps that lead up into the citadel further, where they attempt to lead all of you, should you follow as well, or you could hobnob out here as well with the other patrons of tonight's event. But should you follow them up these sweeping ramps that lead upwards, you can see that it leads into a grand hall with a number of long, rich mahogany tables set out with silverware and candelabras across all of them, the kind of perfect dinner settings at each seat around them. And you can see as well through, on either side of the room, through two large archways, there are what seem to be kind of smaller dining rooms that are like a part of the feast, but the less important people are seated at among them. And the usher, knowing who all of you are, of course, brings you down to the reserved seats for all of you. Threading down through the crowd that has already formed, you get a sight of all of the kind of power players in Sanctuary itself. And this city, this megalopolis, this massive population, of course, has quite the large population of these people as well, merchants and nobles and dignitaries. You can see some that look to not be residents of the city, but visiting from other places from around the kingdom. In here as well, a few eyes kind of glancing in your direction as you come in, whispers going out through, but the ushers bring you over to a table yourselves, which is in front of the king's table, but a couple of rows back, as it looks like the high tables in front of the king's are occupied by
Actually important people.
What actually looks like, you can see by like the little reserved name cards that are in place there, it looks like each of the four tables is reserved for one of the high princes or high princesses that have come to the city for this event. And your table, one side of it you can see your names all along, and on the other side you see the names of the first sirens, but it looks like they are not here yet.
We're sitting right across from them.
At the same table? Do they want the fight to break out now?
Wait. Who am I sitting right across from?
You go over and look, and you are directly across. You are directly across from Petar.
I switch.
You quickly switch the name tags.
And then I go
So
and sit next to
Sebastian
them.
is now in front of you. You go over and sit down.
Did you want to do that with Glacus so we don't have to punch him?
Oh no!
Where am I sitting in regards to Galactus?
Right across.
This is the time, man. This is the time. I don't know.
Let's see if I have anything useful for what I want to do. Give me 1 second.
Do you like a whoopee cushion?
I actually, not a whoopee cushion, but what I want to do is I want to put like a tack on his chair.
Oh my god!
Is that too mean?
It's a little.
Okay,
No.
you guys see me like pull out a tack and go to his chair. And
I'm intrigued.
You know, this might be a little step too far. How about a pebble? Maybe just a rock?
We might get kicked out, but man, that would be glorious.
It puts it away.
There is already music being played by some musicians. You can see, while they are off in one corner, the sound from that corner seems to be kind of emanating out throughout the chamber, allowing it to be heard clearly but not so loud that conversation can't be had around it. There are large fireplaces rolling, a good 10 feet wide fireplaces that you could walk into that have these big fires in them, although there doesn't seem to be much heat coming off of them, just kind of the light and ambience of them in the spaces. And you can already smell the aromas of foods and spices coming up into the dining hall itself. Not too long after your own arrivals, you can hear a bit of hushed murmurs going on over by the doors again, and striding confidently in through the doors, his perfect smile leading the way, Glackus Tran and the rest of the first Scions come walking into the hall, and you can see ushers kind of starting to lead and gesture and point over towards where seats are, and you see Glackus kind of taking in the scene, sees where they're leading him towards, seeing all of you. The smile remains in place and perfect, but Yvain, you know him well enough to see it's a grimace more than it is a smile, but he is taking it as best as he can in the moment. And very briefly, the four of them, Glackus Tran, a human with that perfect smile and strong jaw and long flowing blonde hair, comes over to sit with all of you, as well as Dinah, the hulking hunk of a pixie with the rhinoceros beetle's horn coming off of his head, Vestian, the tabby Qatari, who kind of looks at the name cards, looks where she's seated and gives a little bit of a grin before she sits down. And Pitar as well, another human with the sandy brown hair, who still looks a bit kind of rumpled and disheveled despite being in more formal attire.
Yeah, what are they wearing?
Glackus is embarrassed as he is wearing almost the same outfit as you. And there is immediate talks of who wore it better going on through the crowd. Dinah is wearing a simple, almost like Greek toga over his carapaced form that just, despite fitting him well, it like highlights his size compared to those around him. It almost looks like it should be too small, and yet it fits perfectly on him. Vestian is wearing a simple, dark, almost all completely black pantsuit that she looks quite uncomfortable in. And Pitar is again wearing kind of robes that are simple but more formal, kind of a nicer cut and material to them. But he still, he kind of gives this frumpy, disheveled look about him. And you can see he kind of looks at all the name places. He looks twice over to where Glackus is sitting with Dinah next to him, and then kind of, with a bit of a sigh, he sits down at the opposite end of the table from all of them. And Glackus just looks over and just says, "Well, that was quite well done, all of you. I must admit I didn't expect any of you to get as far as you did, and to do it with such time."
Oh, look, he's first. Science. Just a little pause after first.
"Yes, we'll see who remains first after tomorrow's events." And Dinah just gives a roaring laugh, the table kind of shaking as he slams his fist down on it, and he says, "That was fucking awesome!
Heck yeah!
You guys came out and the teamwork? I've never seen anything. Glackus, I told you we should have worked on our moves beforehand. These guys know what they are about." And Glackus kind of shakes his head and he says, "We did work on the teamwork maneuvers. You weren't there for them. You were drinking."
Speaking of drinking, who wants a drink?
He fist bumps back across to you. And Vestian just kind of leans out and she says, that was really cool. You guys were great."
You have a go back in there.
She just kind of looks down, not blushing, but blushing once again. You hear an announcement from the doorway as a couple people kind of like took your names as you came in, but then didn't make any event of it. Now they seem to be making an event of the people entering. As you look over towards the voice as it shouts out and just says, "High Princess Raishal, High Prince Raishal, and High Princess Silvertree of Barada." Looking up towards, you can see an elven man walking in with almost a shining golden long hair, wearing very elegant robes, and walking with him is a stout dwarven woman with black hair, who's wearing these fine blue robes with kind of silver stars embroidered across them. As each of them come in and all eyes in the room kind of turn over to them, there's a bit of a hush that goes through as they all kind of come in and smile and wave at everybody before business picks up as usual again, and they're headed to they're ushered towards one of their high tables that have been reserved for them.
Above the table, do I remember right that your homie, whose name I don't remember, Amran?
Yeah, but you wouldn't know his name anyway.
Sure, your main would know.
Below the table.
At the table.
At the
On the
table?
table?
Below the table?
On the table.
At the table.
At the table. Anyway, he said that there was no evidence that the first Scions actually got their charter from the first wizard, right? Is that correct? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I want to make sure before I
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
But the first wizard,
First mage. First wizard.
First wizard.
High medicine.
She didn't react, right? When we said that she should let whoever know. Cause
She just kind of like was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll let everyone know it's fine, right? She
she was
wasn't
like,
like
shook that off.
specifically react to that.
She didn't emotionally react to
Yeah.
a bunch of.
Yeah, she definitely seemed to keep play pretty close
Yeah.
to the vest. You don't recall her making any note of that. What you recall was just she said she was going to take care of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Then, when kind of are people just kind of like coming in one after another? Or is there like kind of a few moments in between?
There's moments in between. You can see
Uh-huh.
other people that are coming in. They're not
Yeah.
announced in that
Right.
fashion. It seems mostly the big players are being announced as they enter.
So at some point, like when there's a minute, I look over at Glackus. So I have just a little question for you. It seems like charter that you got to track us down perhaps is not in evidence is coming from First Wizard. There is, I think that you should investigate any irregularities perhaps with your mission. Did you get reward for successful completion?
His smile cracks ever so slightly. You see, he kind of takes a breath and he just says, I can assure you that we came to report the return of the medallion to the city as soon as we were aware that it had escaped our sight.
That is relief. To whom did you report?
To the first wizard, the same one who gave me the mission.
Is that so?
Indeed, she handed it to me herself personally.
It's just strange when I handed her back the medallion personally to her that she did not mention it.
Well, I'm sure the first wizard is quite busy, and she didn't want to highlight our special relationship.
Is he lying? Or what is it? Can I pick up anything from his... I mean, besides what I can pick up from your face and tone.
Are you no?
Is any of this real, Josh? Are you making this up?
Until
More
this is
than you
all
know.
fake.
It's all a
More than
conspiracy.
you know.
This is all just a fantasy to us.
It's all coming from Josh's imagination.
Turns out it's all coming from your imagination.
Oh no. Make an instinct roll.
God, just terrible.
Do you need
Wow.
some assurance?
Yes.
If you can do better. You seem a little tense. Relax. He is mortal enemy, but it's a party.
So I reroll my hope die?
Yeah, you can do it.
Oh, we haven't rested yet.
Hope die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Before consequences, reroll their dice.
Okay.
And you must accept the result of the new roll.
Wait, reroll both dice? Or just a hope?
Both.
Both.
Reroll
Fantastic.
their dice.
Okay.
Plural.
Much better. 15 fear.
He's always been a bit of a bragger,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't usually exaggerate too far.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to believe what he is saying.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that you feel in this moment, you start to even question, you're like playing back the conversation you had with her,
Mm-hmm.
and like maybe they do have some sort of a relationship, but maybe she was deflecting the conversation from him, maybe she was protecting him in some way, maybe you're in a little deeper than you had thought, and you take a mark of stress as you feel a little bit of the self-doubt that had been quenched throughout the day start to rise up again of like, maybe you should be more careful, maybe you need to watch your step. Maybe he still has the upper hand in this endeavor in some way. But there's something you're not seeing that he is.
But I know that the charter didn't come. It wasn't like an official mission.
You were told that, yes.
Yeah.
That's what we
And
heard.
you're also being told that she handed in the mission herself.
Yeah.
I remember that we learned he had the right to basically kill us, I believe.
That's certainly what the document
Yeah.
showed us.
And he just says, I must admit, Skippy, it was quite clever of you to evade us in the manner that you did. I'm sure you picked that up as a refugee. All this sneaking about.
Whatever.
Skullduggery.
Whatever backdoor closed room bullshit you are involved in, it smells as bad as you always have.
His smile never leaves his face, but there is almost a flash of violence you see in his eyes as he just says, well, I can assure you that the High Magistrate is quite pleased that the amulet is back in her possession, and rewards will be coming our way soon. Don't you worry. And he kind of looks down at the rest of his companions.
She was very pleased. You are.
As you hear Pitar almost mumbling out a little bit. We never worried, never lost our faith in you, Glacus. At which point you hear the announcer again calling out, not the announcer, but the people at the doors calling in again. The Herald. Ladies and gentlemen of the Citadel, may I present to you High Prince Tran from Kinfeld. And you see walking in the door, wearing a very well-cut suit and large gem-studded rings on each finger, some of them even doubling up, a narrow, pointed goatee of a beard, and this thin, kind of angular frame of a man walking in. You can see the familiar resemblance between he and Glacus. You see where he got that chiseled chin and the high cheekbones. His father also sporting them. And Yvain, as your focus was kind of so intent, you also saw Glacus almost flinched at the mention of his father's name. And very quickly it disappears. And you see him almost like sit a little more straight and proper. A little bit of the schoolyard bully disappearing and becoming this noble-born individual. His father gives a scan of the room around him, dismissing the usher next to him as he heads off through the dining hall as well. And you can see on his arm, in a kind of fluffy, lace-filled, frilly red dress, this small mouse of a woman kind of loyally and obediently on her husband's arm, trailing along with him and giving the niceties to everyone around. It's kind of greeting them as they're heading up towards their high table as well.
Hey, please, do not mind us if you have to go. I don't know. Like Daddy's boots.
I'm sure my father's boots are very well polished, as they always are.
You would know.
Dinah kind of slamming down the mug that he's already finished off, wiping the froth onto his arm. Looks back around all of you and he says, "So, tomorrow we fight.
Yeah.
You guys excited?
A little bit now, yeah?
I mean, we've seen what you guys can do when those people from the Briarwood ambushed you on the road. We got to see a little bit of what you were doing, but we were a little distracted with our own Battlebox. But, oh man, this is going to be fucking great."
Yeah. Can't wait to fight you.
Yeah! He goes to give you a high five. Boof. Resounds around through the chamber.
Let's get a drink.
Yeah, let's go!
You're too excited.
I just love the thrill of the fight. Don't you?
I mean, it's fun and all, but like, jeez.
Don't you just want to challenge yourself against the best of the best?
You think we're the best of the best?
I mean, you're pretty good.
Well,
Well, so are you. I mean, I guess it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go all out, and there's like really no consequence of death or goring. It's great.
What?
Well, I mean, I guess when you put it that way. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
alright, I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess I can spend more time, worrying about hitting them than,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go berserker. It's gonna be great.
Kind of changes everything.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, this is really exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, where are these drinks at? Let's go.
Dinah immediately jumps up to join all of you in getting some drinks. And as he starts to go, he turns back and says, Testian, come on.
Testian.
Yeah.
I thought it was Vestian.
Oh, Vestian. Yeah,
Oh.
sorry. I'm writing other notes as I'm trying to RP. Always a mistake.
I thought maybe it was a little nickname or something. Like he's testy?
Yeah, she's always testing things.
As you head over to the bar, you hear announced once again, ladies and gentlemen of Sanctuary, may I present to you High Princess Saranda of Drathos. And you can see coming in through the door in a very elegant gown, but almost more dressed as a very wealthy merchant than any kind of royalty. Tall, kind of square-faced, but still handsome, red-haired woman coming in through the doors as well, who gives the same kind of platitudes and pleasantries to all that greet her as she is led up towards the high tables as well. You see coming along through the crowd the beautiful statuesque metallic silver form of Glorio, who had greeted you after the tournament previously, as he's coming walking back over towards your table, the same smile plastered onto his face. As you see, he just kind of grabs a chair from the other table, bringing it over to yours and taking a seat around with all of you, and he just says, well, what do you all think?
This place is pretty fantastic.
It's very extravagant.
It is the thriving heart of the kingdom. It's not.
You look amazing.
He gives this kind of theatrical spin to show the same outfit he was wearing earlier.
Glorious.
Although he's got like one of those one-shouldered capes that's not long enough to do any kind of utilitarian function.
I mean, in this
Just
lighting
that,
now, it's like you're gleaming so much more than when we first met.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed it. And all of you, you look wonderful. Just
thank you.
wonderful.
You are give us good recommendation. Betsy is just a very nice person.
Oh, yes, we have a wonderful sponsorship with her.
And,
And fast. She's so fast. Can't believe she got it done so quickly.
Well, they have the best seamstresses in the cities working for them, as well as the best arcane gear and technology that can be afforded.
tell me, I have a question. There are past year's winners of challenges here, or what they are going to do?
The previous winners, they of course can sometimes turn the notoriety and fame from the event into quite the lucrative careers. If they're any sort of business person in the city, the clientele and customer base expands rapidly, but for the most part, it's just the glory of the title. Past victors are not invited to events such as this unless they've earned the right in other ways.
Of course.
But what I'm interested in is all of you. I've had the honor and the pleasure of introducing you to the adoring crowds and fans that have come to watch your exploits and escapades. What I'm interested in is who you are. What have you brought to our wonderful city, this melting pot of ingenuity, goodness for all?
Is this gonna go on our stats on those like billboards?
This girl gets it!
Girl.
She knows how to make a name for yourself. You hardly need my help at all, but I offer it nonetheless. So what I want to know is, what does the crowd need to know about each of you? What sets you apart? Who are you as a person, more than just a challenger?
What is my brand?
And you see he snaps his finger and holds his hand out. One of the elven attendants quickly puts a little tablet into his hand. The other one, looks like a metal quill pen, which she sets into it. He takes it and he's like, yes, go ahead.
I need a moment to coalesce.
Oh, take your time, take your time. This is important.
Choose. I mean,
What is your offer?
In need of my homeland, Nevada. I have come here, I've only been here a few months, really. And I am there now. Take choices, make actions that lead to bold, interesting things. Spice of life. Want to experience incredible things.
I see. Exotic gambler from afar. I love it. Yes. As you sit and think, Glacchus speaks up and he says, well, I of course am the first scion of House Tran, and
You are seems like second scions right now.
destined to rule the princedom of Kinfell in the name of the High King. Gloria just kind of looks and says, yes, for a scion, House Tran, top born.
There is not much to say. Like so many of the citizens of Sanctuary, just another child who has come here to find safety and hope.
Do not sell yourself short. You have risen up through your ingenuity and intelligence.
But that is what the kingdom is. The kingdom of Tarkon is give everybody a chance to be part of something bigger.
Sure, but
Is
they
no
have to
matter
take
where
it.
they are come from.
You have taken it. You have molded it. It is you too.
Not really about me. It's to be part of something that is will last for many centuries, to give dream to all children who are afraid, have no futures, is to pass down opportunity, to pass down hope to children of time to come. That is kingdom. That is why we are struggle and strive and take a chance and work, is to lay foundation to build for years to come.
Good, yes. Yes. case, you are involved with that, you believe in that, you work towards that. But you are young.
This Glorio just says, hometown underdog, I love it. If I could cry, I wouldn't, because it would mess up my polish, but you make me want to. Dinah just goes, me? I'm just a badass motherfucker. To which Glorio just says, bounce.
No matter what you say, it will get shortened. Well, I'm a Louisville, and
I'm
okay. I wanted to ask, you are one of the Louisvilles.
Yeah.
Say no. He writes down.
Can you shorten that? Oh, okay.
Leave the PR to me.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
No, give him hair flip.
I've never seen a galapa with such locks.
Well, we are rare.
I'll be sure to put it on fine display
Okay.
tomorrow.
Great.
And
I should not have flipped my hair.
by
Great idea, Gavin.
any
No,
chance,
it's
do you
won't work.
have any sponsorships? I have this friend. He runs a company called Fabling. And he would love your hair.
Like off my head?
No. To sell his product throughout the kingdom.
I mean, I already kind of have a job. I don't know. I kind of have to talk to the Dragon Defenders. Feel like I kind of have something I need to do, but
you don't need to do anything too time consuming. You just accept a little money, offer your images and name.
I mean, you know, I
I can
guess.
get you in touch tomorrow, but
Okay.
let's
all
not get too
I mean,
distracted.
We
Let's
can
get
talk.
too
Yeah, sure.
Handfuls of gold.
as
Yeah, sure.
Vestian just looks over and almost hissing just says, I'm going to kill you. And Glorio just says,
I shoot her a wink.
She finally, the embarrassment seems to be overwhelmed by the violent shriek that just emerged, and she smiles back at you before it comes over her again. She goes back down.
That's going to be the PR.
Glorio just looks at you and he says, and you strong, strapping young bull.
Thank you. I am Bogard Praterum. I am part of the Beatnik Brawlers. I was separated from my herd a while ago, and
so sad.
Thank you. And I'm with this group now, and my friend Tulok here, in order to find my herd. But I'd imagine with the range that these events call, that word will travel fast. So I'd imagine.
Oh, I can assure you, everyone in the kingdom will know that your name and that you are here in Sanctuary this good. Right. Mogo, Wayward Wanderer. I love it.
Well, this is so comforting.
Oh yeah.
Believe me, by tomorrow, everyone will know your names. And they will
So
love you.
comforting.
Or they'll hate you. Or they'll love to hate you. Either way, any press, good press.
So there's gonna be like
Is that-
one of us is a stand for some fans, and then other fans are like, oh no, they're rivals.
Exactly. But if there's anything I know how to do, it's how to put butts in seats. And tomorrow, the arena will be at capacity!
Do we what's the prize money here again? Do we get a cut of those butts in the seats? Is that what happens?
Well, attendance at the arena is free, of course.
Oh, okay.
There are merchandising options available if you'd like to discuss them.
What we get is the basement.
Maybe.
There is a purse.
Anyway, yeah.
A purse.
Oh, there
For the
it
women.
is. Is it large?
It's certainly more than a handful.
2 handfuls.
Maybe even more than that.
Do they make
Perhaps
any
a bit.
wagers?
Yet we will not.
I wonder if people are betting for us or they're probably betting for us now.
There's a
You
lot
are.
of bets that will be happening. Probably even more after this PR gets out, though.
What are odds at currently?
Currently, despite your...
Do I want to know?
That is up to you.
I kind of want to know.
We want to know.
Okay, tell us the odds.
Despite your resounding performance, there is... And he looks over at Gracchus and he says, the first sign of House Tran has quite the reputation already here in Sanctuary, and despite your earlier performances, he is still the favorite, although the gap is narrow.
I am sure that he has been spreading word of his many victories against widows and orphans.
You see he's nodding and smiling. He says, I have. He just seems totally oblivious of what you just said. Just focused in on, yes, he is wonderful. As a final announcement is made up at the entryway. Ladies and gentlemen of Sanctuary, my pleasure to admit to you High Prince Stros from Ternos. And you finally see a young, what might almost even be too young for his position, a boy more, maybe 13 or 14 years old, who's walking in. You can see there is a regal bearing to his presence. He doesn't look too uncomfortable with the position at all, but you can also see a middle-aged woman at his side, very much kind of whispering down to him a little bit and making sure he's doing the right things, as he also gives his greetings to the crowds in attendance. You can see, as well as you've been having this conversation, that the dining hall has filled out. Rows and rows of these tables are filled. All of the kind of elites and guests of honors here in the main feast hall, but even the side halls as well have filled up in their presence. And Yvain, you would definitely know, and Tulok, maybe you as well, as residents here in Sanctuary, you would know events like this. 2 of those side halls are actually reserved for just anybody from the city that wants to come. That's obviously, it's first come, first serve. So it's usually a long line the day of events like this, but anybody can come up and feast with the High King and get a little glimpse and a taste of things that are happening at these galas and the like. And so yeah, the entire hall and the side wings connected to it have all filled up at this point, and there are servers and attendants going around from table to table, making sure that people are taken care of before the first courses come out for the evening. Galactus looks up at you and he just says to all of you, he just says, well, I'm certainly glad that we can keep things civil this evening, and I do look forward to tomorrow, what it might bring for all of us.
So, we get to choose the battlefield.
Yes, we heard.
But if you could choose it, what would you do?
He takes a moment. You see Dinah just says, leave it open. Big sand pit, ready to be covered in blood.
Sand, yeah.
And Galactus just says, well, I would certainly look for any sort of advantages that could be gained, whether it would be high ground or some cover. If it were up to me, and you see the perfect smile on his face takes a little bit of a nefarious twist to it as he just says, I would certainly be sure there were some surprises in store.
You are a man of intellect. I'm sure you would come up with some creative things.
You see his chest kind of puffs up a little bit, and he just says, yes, the things I could come up with.
But the question for me is, like, would it be the things to try to demoralize, or would it be, you know, to gain a little extra damage here and there?
Any avenue or method one can take to gain an advantage, one should take. And you almost catch this sense of the kind of rhythm and pattern of a rote saying, something that he has probably heard over and over and over again. So there's almost like almost a mantra being spoken, and the words to him don't have meaning anymore. It's just
Where is he looking for something?
over at the high table of his father.
Interesting, yes.
The murmuring of the audience here, the attendance of tonight's feast, continues on. The kind of dozens of conversations happening all over. You can see a few people kind of not at their assigned seats as they're sneaking in conversations with people over at other tables. This murmur continues on as the last of those high tables have been filled up towards the front. And there is almost, you see a few servants in the royal livery coming out from some of the side doors, and a few hustling on over to do a final check on the High King's table up above. It's kind of set up on a bit of a platform at the front of the area. As they kind of are making that final check, and it's kind of that moment at the concert when, like, you see the roadies coming out to do the final check, and the crowd starts to go quiet in anticipation of the moment. All eyes start to turn towards the table of the High King and the doors behind, where he and his guests will be emerging from. And within a few moments, this anticipation kind of building up in the crowd, you see one of those doors being opened up, and gliding out in a beautiful deep purple gown, the handsome elvish figure of the first wizard, High Magister Imris Valda, kind of comes out. No real pomp and ceremony to her entrance, but there is still a kind of hush whisper that goes through, and some light applause happening in a few places as she comes out. You see she smiles and nods to a few people. She goes coming out the door, coming along to each of the other high tables where the high princes and princesses are seated to give her kind of formal greetings and acknowledgments to each of them.
Is she wearing the amulet?
She is not. A few moments later, she's still giving the greetings to the other royalty here. Coming out from the same door is the massive form of High Prince Tarkin, not the High King, but his brother. And you can see he is still wearing the armor and uniform of his position. although definitely like this is the dress uniform of it. But he still very much is putting on the appearance and the posture of a soldier on duty, as he comes almost marching out from that doorway and gives a slow, methodical scan of the entire room. You can see his eyes checking corners and windows and behind columns and any shadowy places, scanning for threats or dangers that might be present, checking faces of nearly every individual that's in line of sight from where he stands here. It takes him a few minutes of fully scanning as the first wizard finishes with the other high tables, and she moves up to take a seat up at the High King's table before he finally kind of looks back and gives a nod, seems to give a quiet order to one of the other soldiers on guard at the doorway there before he heads up and doesn't go, he doesn't sit at the table but goes and stands behind and over the right shoulder of where the High King would be sitting. Before the crowd at this point finally does go completely silent. No more hushed whispers and the murmuring of quiet conversations as they all go quiet. And the announcer coming around from the rear entrance up to the front of the hall here kind of clears his throat a little bit, looking at all of you. The musicians go quiet for the first time of the evening, and there is although no one playing it, a bit of a fanfare that echoes out through this cavernous room that you're in, as he just says, "Ladies and gentlemen of Sanctuary, it is my honor, duty, and privilege to present to you the great unifier, the hero of the kingdom, High King Tarkin." And there is another, this time much more excited and emotional applause and cheering that goes on, although still subdued enough for this formal setting, a little bit more rowdy from the open seats given to citizens of Sanctuary. As you can see, coming in through the door, this same figure that you spotted in the box up in the arena stands earlier. He is wearing very fine but simple white robes with gold trim across it. Very proudly displayed the sinuous dragon symbol of his house on his left shoulder. A very simple crown, almost like a laurel crown, like the leafy branch that's just going around, but it is worked in gold and has the glint of gemstones in and among it, but nothing too tacky or gaudy on it. And you can see as well that he is seated in a chair that seems to be gliding or almost sliding along on the floor in front of him. His hands on the arms of the chair. You can see the fingers moving slightly as it rolls out into the view of everyone else. The cheers and shouts for the High King die down as he's kind of giving nods and waves and smiles to everyone in attendance. You see he glances and gives a greeting to each, even from a distance, to the other high princes and princesses around before his fingers move on the armrest of his chair again, and you see it kind of pivot around and glide up the ramp that leads up the short, up onto the short platform that the table sits upon. And as you see his form kind of gliding along behind the table, you can see his brother pulls back the back of this. It's not quite a throne, but quite an ornate and well-crafted chair that he pulls back, and you can see that it's just kind of, as he pulls it back, you can see it's just kind of the back of the chair, kind of a stall, the arms of it giving way as he pulls it back, and his brother, the High King, swivels his chair around into place as his brother slides that back up in, and you can see the almost like a docking station, like the chair he's in fits perfectly in to kind of create this throne of a chair that he now sits in. He holds his hand out to kind of quiet the last of the applause happening around as he reaches off to the side where a servant is just pouring a fresh glass of wine for him as he takes it. And Tulok, you would definitely have known that even before he had recruited your parents, actually in his youth, the High King had lost the use of his legs when his family was attacked by Shiners. And in fact, it was that attack that he not only lost the use of his legs, but he lost both of his parents. And you know very well from his relationship with your parents, that was kind of the founding event when he decided, like, I have to do something. I can't let this happen to anybody else. And so that's kind of what sparked, although it was decades earlier, it sparked his drive to unify the land and to bring everyone together against this threat of Shiners.
Is this widely known?
It is not widely known that he is bound to the chair, although, you know, like, it's not, I should say, it's not heavily publicized, but it's obvious, like, nobody ever sees him standing. And so there's certainly, like, rumors and talk of it. It's kind of a everybody knows but they don't talk about it type of thing. And it's a bit of a badge of pride for many members, many citizens of the kingdom, that he overcame the challenges put in front of him, and rose to the station that he did.
Because I think if anyone would have grown up with that knowledge to some extent, right?
Yvain would have grown up with it. Probably not grown up with it, as he was, in comparison to what he is now, he was a much smaller figure, public figure, before the conquest became what it became. So I would say, like, during the conquest itself, it was more of a kind of political secret. But now that things have settled and his reign is secure, they're not hiding it as much anymore now.
But that's like 20 years ago that the conquest ended, right? And the kingdom has been settled in. Yeah.
Roundabout. So I would say for the two of you, it's a little bit more of like confirmation that what people say about him is true. The two of you would be a little bit more familiar with this beforehand. And you can see as they finish filling the glass for him, his dark ebony skin and this the silver, thick curled hair around the crown that he wears as he looks out across the audience. And you can see very much almost a fatherly admiration as he looks out across the crowd of everybody before he speaks. And there is unmistakable authority in his voice when he speaks. And you, Tulok, you remember it even from when you were a child, before he was the High King, he spoke in this way. And it's part of why people like your parents followed him, because they believed in what he would say. And so his voice rings out with this authority across all of you as he just says, High Princes, High Princesses, nobles, dignitaries, and citizens of Sanctuary, I welcome you to my home to gather for this feast in honor of our victorious challengers. And he gestures over to your table to where all eyes kind of swivel over towards you. You see Dinah kind of wipes some of the frothy ale from his mouth as he waves around to everywhere. Glack is very much like pretending not to notice, but very much like Peacock preening his feathers a little bit and putting them on display. The perfect teeth, ding, clings out across. As he just says, they teach us that our challenges make us stronger, and we honor them for the display they put on for us today and the entertainment they will bring us tomorrow. These are the teachings of Lonabon, but let us not forget that while challenge makes us stronger, competition can build walls. Walls that, in tearing down through unification, we have grown beyond, allowing knowledge to flow freely, allowing our civilization to evolve and adapt, and to stand strong against the threats that might endanger our way of life. I thank you all for coming, and I welcome you again humbly to my home. Please, enjoy the feast. And as he does so on cue, the doors to the sides of the chamber open, and servants start coming in with trays of food to bring around to all of you. And with the food coming out to you, we will take a break there for the rest of this dinner to proceed. This is somewhat of, I want to play with a little bit of the Daggerheart rules for social encounters. Mm-hmm. So this is in some ways set up in the same way a combat encounter is. This is a location that has actions and abilities and things that can happen that you guys can hobnob and try and find out information, try and talk to people, make some connections and the like. I'm interested to kind of play around with it a little bit and see what these social encounters are like in Daggerheart. It's a little bit of the system we haven't played with yet. We can talk off camera about what some of the stuff that can be happening there is. But to everybody out there, we thank you for joining us this week for another session with a resounding victory over the Battlebox. I'm still shaken by how quickly you all tore through its hit points and took it down.
The title can be Battered Battlebox.
Please, do always offer me titles. Because I have to come up with them all the time. The Battered...
Crushing the Combat Cube.
That's the description. But those of you out there in audience land, we appreciate you guys joining us. We appreciate you doing all the things that you do and for sharing this adventure and this story with us as we weave it around the table for our enjoyment and for yours. We will be back next week for another session as this grand feast continues. Until then, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. We will see you next time.
Bye.